What's up, Gooners? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving deep into a game that has completely taken my undivided attention, Arc Raiders. I went into this game with cautious expectations, but after dozens of hours, countless firefights, last-second escapes, and more mechanical mayhem than I could have expected, I'm convinced this game is absolutely worth your time. So in this video, we're breaking down exactly why Arc Raiders is so good, from its world design, to the combat loop, to the progression system, the unpredictable PvPvE gameplay that honestly has me hooked. If you're on the fence about Arc Raiders, or maybe you tried it early and weren't sure, stick around, because this game has hidden depth, smart design choices, and some of the most chaotic, adrenaline-filled encounters I've had all year. The setting of Arc Raiders is one of the very first things that grabbed me. It's this perfect blend of retro-futurism and grounded survival grit. You've got these rusty, almost analog-looking outposts with old-school tech patched together using scrap, exposed wires, and whatever else people can salvage. Then right around the corner, you'll stumble onto pieces of futuristic machinery that look like they fell straight out of a different universe. Glowing cores, alien alloys, and automated systems still humming along after their creators have vanished. What I truly love is that the world feels lived in, not just designed. Every structure looks like it has a purpose. Every crate, barricade, or busted generator feels like someone relied on it, they fought over it, or abandoned it when things went bad. You start to pick up on stories without a single line of dialogue. You see where people tried to make a stand. You see trails of destruction where Arc machines march through. You see makeshift shelters tucked into caves or cliffs, clearly built by desperate survivors avoiding detection. And unlike a lot of extraction-style games where the map feels like a static stage, Arc Raiders makes the world feel alive. Sometimes painfully alive. You'll see Arc patrols roaming the terrain with these eerie, coordinated movements. You'll hear distant mechanical roars echoing off the walls and canyons, and then you'll watch weather systems roll in. Dust storms, fog banks, lightning, shifting sunlight, and suddenly the environment isn't just a backdrop, it's part of the danger. One minute you're exploring a quiet valley with nothing but wind and the buzz of old electronics, and then moments later you're scrambling behind a rock because a wasp drone spotted you or a leaper is stomping over the horizon. There's this constant feeling that the world is watching you, it's reacting to you, and it's just waiting for the right moment to throw something unexpected your way. And the map design itself creates natural tension. Every valley, every canyon, every ruined settlement feels like it's hiding something. It could be a stash of high-value loot, or it could be your death sentence. Elevation changes matter, shadows matter, and sound travels further than you think. You'll find yourself checking rooftops, scanning hilltops, listening for movement, anything that might give away an enemy squad or an arc nearby. And here's the crazy part. Even simple traversal feels immersive. You're moving through tall grass that shivers. Machines pass by and dust kicks up. Light flares off metal scrap in the distance. The arc direction, the lighting, the dust particles floating in the air, it all comes together to create this gritty sci-fi frontier that feels both dangerous and beautiful. It's the kind of world where you stop for a second just to appreciate the view, but you never stop for too long because in Arc Raiders, the world is gorgeous, but it's never safe. Speaking of the sound design, one thing I absolutely have to talk about is that Arc Raiders nails it. It isn't just background noise, it's a system, it's a warning mechanism, it's a storytelling tool, and honestly, it's a weapon you both use and fight against. Your footsteps in Arc Raiders matter way more than people realize at first. Different surfaces, metal grates, dirt, sand, gravel, broken concrete, they all create distinct sounds, and those sounds travel. If you sprint across a noisy surface, for example, you're announcing your position not only to the other players, but the Arc machines will hear you as well. Too many moments where I found myself slowing down, crouch walking, or even taking a longer route around just to avoid making noise. You start to become kind of hyper-aware of what's beneath your feet. A pile of scrap metal, maybe a broken car hood, all of that can give you away if you're not careful. And it's not just your footsteps. The environment itself is constantly trying to expose you and tell a story. For example, you might brush up against an old, rusted vehicle and suddenly a car alarm blares out across the valley. Instant panic. Now you're ducking behind cover because you know both players and the Arc patrol's hurt. Or you might disturb a flock of birds, and they explode into the air and they start squawking and screeching. All of that movement can betray your position from hundreds of meters away. Any squad that knows what they're doing, they're going to hear that and look toward the direction of birds. The ambient audio in Arc Raiders is one of the most immersed that I've heard in a PvPvE game, especially an extraction shooter. You'll hear wind sweeping through canyons, rattling old metal sheets on abandoned buildings. You'll hear insects buzzing in the grass, creating this low, constant hum underneath the chaos. There's the creaking of old scaffolding, the distant clang of a loose cable hitting a pole, or maybe the rustling of fabric on an old decoration. It makes the world feel unsettled, but also peaceful in the same way. The environment is sighing, it's shifting, always on edge, and it's subtle, but it works. You feel like you're in a place that's been battered by conflict for years. And sometimes you can hear the arc machines before you can see them. Sometimes it's a faint mechanical growl echoing off the rocks. Sometimes it's the hydraulic whine of a leaper walking somewhere beyond your line of sight. And gunfire, the directional audio is pretty incredible. You'll hear distant gunshots bouncing between canyon walls. You'll hear echo trails that tell you someone's fighting. Not just how far they are, but roughly where they are. You can almost track firefights through sound alone. And the animations and sound design really elevate the moment-to-moment action. Shots feel impactful, explosions feel heavy and loud, and when a giant queen collapses, the audio is chef's kiss. Let's shift into the progression mechanics for a moment, because another thing Arc Raiders absolutely nails, and honestly something a lot of extraction shooters struggle with, is its progression system. In Arc Raiders, every run matters, and I mean every run. Even if you get ambushed, even if you extract with nothing, even if you die 5 feet from a raider hatch, you still walk away with something. You're getting salvage, you're getting materials, you're getting XP. There's always some sense of forward movement. Blueprints are at the heart of your gear chase. Each blueprint you discover opens up a new weapon, utility item, or gadget to craft. And this is what creates that one more run mentality. Maybe you need one more alloy, one more mechanical part, one more rare drop to complete that new weapon blueprint you just unlocked. The crafting system hits that sweet spot. It's deep enough to be rewarding, but it never becomes tedious or overwhelming. You're not drowning in 50 different ingredients. You're not waiting days to unlock something. You see progress quickly, and upgrades feel meaningful. Then there's the workbenches, your little home base of progression. Upgrading your workbenches isn't just a cosmetic thing. Each level unlocks stronger weapon tiers, better mods and consumables, improved attachments. It's this steady climb where each upgrade actually changes your options in the field. You feel your character growing, your kit expanding, and your playstyle evolving as your workbench levels up. The leveling. Every match funnels XP into your character level, and the leveling system is generous. You constantly feel rewarded for playing, whether you survive, extract, complete objectives, defeat Arc, or engage in PvP, you're always gaining something. Each level unlocks new mechanics, systems, and that steady drip feed is a big part of why the game is so addicting. You never hit a wall where progress feels too slow. The pacing is just right, constant but not rushed, enough to keep you motivated without ever burning you out. And what to do if you have hit the max level? Expeditions are where the progression system really comes together. You're not just looting with no payoff. Expeditions reward you with the option to reset your character, but you gain new advantages with that. Perks like increased stash size, extra skill points, and new cosmetics only available to those who are willing to put in the effort. They feel like the endgame content Arc Raiders is designed around is intentional. The replayability of this game is limitless. With changing perks, it keeps you coming back for more. I made a separate video about the project, and I'll put that in the top right-hand corner of your screen. And then you've got the trials, these bite-sized, objective-based challenges that reward you for mastering certain aspects of the game. Trials might ask you to take down a specific arc unit, or loot a certain type of arc, or gather a resource not commonly found. They're fun, they're optional, and most importantly, they give you rewards that actually matter. Completing trials can fast-track your progression by giving you bonus XP, rare crafting materials, or even unique cosmetics and weapon skins. They're fun, they're optional, and most importantly, they give you rewards that actually matter. Completing trials can fast-track your progression by giving bonus XP, rare crafting materials, or even unique cosmetics. It adds this layer of mini goals on top of the core loop, so even short play sessions feel productive. And on top of the trials, Arc Raiders includes a ranking system that reflects your overall performance and consistency. As you improve, survive more runs, and complete more objectives, your rank increases. And this isn't just for show. Higher ranks unlock better loot and cosmetics. It creates this subtle skill-based ladder where the game grows with you. You're not stuck running the same low-level routes forever, and encourages you to take on bigger risks and push into more dangerous areas. And here's the part I really respect. Arc Raiders doesn't force you to grind endlessly for a single gun or an upgrade. It doesn't waste your time. You see progress quickly, but not so quickly that loot becomes disposable or meaningless. The pacing feels, well, honest. Within a few hours, you're crafting new weapons. Within a few sessions, you're upgrading your workbenches. And within a week, you're entering high-danger situations and taking down units that terrified you early on. It's a progression system that respects your time, respects your effort, and keeps you hooked without ever feeling exploitative or grindy. And it all ties back into that central design philosophy. Every run teaches you something, it gives you something, and it moves you forward. Whether you succeed, fail, extract, or barely escape with your life, Arc Raiders rewards you for playing, and that's why the progression system works so well. The enemies, the Arc machines, they deserve their own spotlight. These things aren't just reskinned grunts. They're unpredictable, aggressive, and honestly kind of horrifying the first time you encounter them. You have drones that scout and ping you, spider-like machines that jump at you, massive lumbering titans that shake the ground, and flying units that swoop in at exactly the wrong time. What makes them so good is the variety of Arc and in the variety of the tactics that they force you to use. You can't just stand still and fire. You have to use the environment, break line of sight, hit weak points, and sometimes just run. Encounters with Arc enemies feel cinematic without ever being scripted. A random patrol can turn into a desperate fight for survival, a clutch revive, or a mad dash to an extraction. Early on, Embark said that they use machine learning to train these AI programs and these AI enemies. And you can really tell. I can't think of any other type of game where I hear an enemy, for example, and it sends a shiver down my spine. There's nothing like that shrill screech of a Bastion to kind of get your blood pumping. The enemies feel alive in the environment that they're in, and they also react to it. If you've ever watched a leaper stumble across the environment, you'll know that it's not just walking in some random pattern or preset path. It's actually looking for people. It's actually reacting to the obstacles in its way. I truly appreciate the amount of effort that Embark put into the AI enemies, because not every game does AI right. Let's be honest. Alongside the PvE, you have PvP, and this might be the biggest reason that Arc Raiders works. The combat feels fantastic. The gunplay is responsive, the recoil has personality, and every weapon has a distinct identity. SMGs shred up close, rifles are reliable and punchy, and shotguns feel devastating. Your utility can change the tide of a fight. What I love most is that Arc Raiders doesn't dumb things down. Positioning matters, movement matters, ammo management matters, and you can't just face tank enemies. You need to outsmart them. If you love unpredictable, heart-racing moments in games, this is where Arc Raiders shines. The combination of PvP and PvP elements creates situations that no script could ever match. You might be fighting a squad over loot, only to have a bombardier drop in and force both teams to retreat. Or maybe you're sneaking into one of the buildings thinking you're alone, and suddenly another squad pushes in. Now you're in a three-way fight. The Arc units are swarming and your extraction timer is ticking down. These moments are what make it truly unforgettable. It's chaotic, but in the best way possible. This is the kind of gameplay that people talk about for days. Arc Raiders is so addicting because the core gameplay loop is incredibly well designed. You drop in, you loot, you fight, you explore, you adapt, and you extract. It sounds simple, but the emergent gameplay, the risk versus reward decisions, and the gear chase, and the dynamic encounters with Arc make every run feel unique. It has that one more run feeling, and suddenly you've been playing for 6 hours. It's one of the best co-op games to come out in a while. The teamwork doesn't feel forced, it feels natural. You cover each other, you call out enemy positions, you share loot, and you pull off clutch saves. And the way the game is designed encourages communication. There's always something happening, always something to react to. I've had plenty of moments in solo raids where I team up with somebody only to have them shoot me in the back. But I've also had tons of unforgettable moments where the entire lobby teams up to take down a queen or a matriarch. And that's what makes this game so unique, is that the in-game system allows you to communicate with players whether they're on your team or not. It understands what makes PvPvE fun, unpredictability, but it wraps all of that chaos into polished mechanics and satisfying combat. At the end of the day, Arc Raiders is just fun. It's intense, it's unpredictable, and it gives you stories that you want to share with your friends in your Discord server. If you've been looking for a new extraction shooter that brings something fresh to the table, Arc Raiders is absolutely worth jumping into. For me personally, it's been a very long time since I've actually pre-ordered a game, but I did the alpha playtest for this, and I went ahead and bought it. And I am 100% satisfied with the money I spent. Like I said in the beginning of the video, if you're on the fence about it, I would absolutely go ahead and get it. It's fun for the people that want to be sweats and only play PvP. It's fun for the casual weekend players that like an extraction shooter. It's fun to play with your friends. It's fun to play solos and team up with people. Overall, this game has paid for itself tenfold, and I am truly, truly excited to keep playing it. I'm very excited to see what Embark does next. They said they had a 10-year roadmap, and I really do hope that's true. I hope we get a lot more content out of it and a lot more memories. If you enjoyed this review, drop a like, subscribe for more content, and let me know in the comments about your wildest Arc Raiders moments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in Speranza, Raiders.